Breaking inputs coming in with respect to the airlines, the aviation body of India, the DGCA has now issued these very clear guidelines with respect to social distancing for airlines and airport operators. So this includes adequate distance between passengers, at least 1 meter, at the check-in counters, at the long lines, and during security checks as well. Even in the waiting area, passengers are advised to sit, keeping one seat vacant in the middle. On the aircraft, sanitizers provided before entering, and the crew is expected to keep distance while serving passengers. You are with the big story here. I'm Seher Zama. We are continuing with our top focus regarding developments in the wake of the coronavirus outbreak. Today, we're looking at a further jump in the number of cases. Overall cases now recorded at 415. This is according to the ICMR, which is the Indian Council of Medical Research. The central government has warned states of legal action if lockdown is not enforced strictly. 13 states and 80 districts are under lockdown. Shops, trains, metros, buses in several cities there completely shut down, non-operational, only essential services allowed to be functional. In more latest updates coming in earlier today, Prime Minister Modi interacting with industry bodies. This interaction is to take place here. This is on the country's economic situation. Rajya Sabha will also be meeting today, and this is to take stock of the situation. 80 districts across the country, as we said, are on lockdown. Prime Minister Modi in continuing to ask citizens to take this lockdown seriously. This is the only way we can flatten the curve. Meanwhile, the centre has sought help of all social media giants, asking them to spread the right message, spread awareness against fake news as well. Let's now get you an update with respect to public transport in the wake of this lockdown. It has been restricted across major cities. Let's get you this example. The facts coming in from Mumbai, where local trains have been suspended till the 31st of March. In Delhi, there are only 25% of the DTC buses fleet which is operational today. Most employees have been asked to work from home. They've been asked to restrict unnecessary travel. In Maharashtra, prohibitory orders that are in place, and this is for all the major cities of the state of Maharashtra. Section 144 imposed in Mumbai, in Thane and in Pune. This is till the end of the month, 31st March. Gathering of more than 5 persons is restricted. The Mumbai's lifeline, its local trains also will not function till the 31st of March, which means movement entirely across the board being discouraged. All of this to curb the spread of the coronavirus. But prohibitory orders that do not apply to establishments which are under essential services, this includes hospitals, this includes bank services, water supply, power companies, groceries, daily needs, etc.
आज की अपडेटेड फिगर 89 है कुल मिला के, और 15 की संख्या बढ़ी है। और इसमें जो मुझे बताया गया है कि अप्रॉक्सीमेटली 14 आर फ्रॉम मुंबई एंड 1 इज़ फ्रॉम पुणे। गवर्नमेंट के जो भी मेजर्स गवर्नमेंट ने जो लिए हैं
was unprecedented and heartwarming. The people of our country rose in unison to the call of national duty in this hour of crisis. This extraordinary response of the people was a clear demonstration of the collective resolve of the nation to address this formidable challenge. It was also heartening that a sense of gratitude and appreciation for the doctors, nurses, technicians, media, and all others who are in the forefront of the fight against the virus resonated across the country at 5 p.m. yesterday. This House takes note of this positive response and also the need to keep focused on concrete actions and keeping this spirit alive as we brace ourselves for the challenges ahead in the coming weeks. The central and state governments are doing their best to tide over the challenge. several restrictions on the movement of the people are being imposed. This may certainly cause some inconvenience to the people, but extraordinary situations warrant extreme measures. It is important that we are agile and proactive, that we are responsible and responsive. It is critical that we respect the directions and follow them scrupulously. This House urges the people to bear with such restrictions and cooperate as they had done yesterday. The House records its appreciation of the overwhelming response of the people of the country to the call given by the Honorable Prime Minister, Sri Narendra Modi, for Janata Curfew yesterday, and urge them to be guided by the same spirit till the war on coronavirus is finally won. The House also appreciates the central and state governments, various agencies, for their timely and effective interventions. This House also expressed the hope that collectively we shall overcome this huge challenge in the coming weeks. Honourable members may convey their feelings and appreciation of all concerned by thumping the dust, showing our solidarity. The papers to be laid on the table. Sri Prahlad Joshi. Manitri ji ko bulaya unhi ko. Unless you want to replace Prahlad Joshi and you have the permission of your reader to say so.
Sir, with your permission, I rise to lay on the table of the House paper mentioned against my name in serial number 2 in today's list of business with regard to Coal Mine Special Provision Act 2015 to manage and operate Paratpur Central Coal Mine located in state of Jharkhand.
Babul is right. His name was first replacing Prakash Javadekar. Because I found Prakash Javadekar here, I thought, this thing. Okay. Sri Babul Supriyo.
Sir, with your kind permission, on behalf of my Honourable Minister for Information and Broadcasting, Sri Prakash Javadekar, I rise to lay papers on the table of the House that are listed against his name at serial number 1 in today's revised list of business.
Good.
Thank you, sir.
Sri Sripad Nayak.
Sir, I beg to lay on the table of the House the paper listed against my name at serial number 3 of today's revised list of business.
Sri Kiran Riju.
I rise to lay on the table of the House the copy of the papers mentioned against my name at serial number 4 in today's list of business.
Sri Mansukh Bhai Mandavia.
Sir, with your permission, I rise to lay on the table of the House the paper listed against my name at serial number 5 in today's list of business. This paper related to notifications issues under the Calcutta High Court Admiralty Rules 2019, Merchant Shipping Amendment Rules 2019, and annual report of IMU Chennai for the years 2018-19.
Sri Prahlad Joshi.
Sir, with your kind permission, on behalf of my colleague, Sri Arjun Ram Meghwal, Minister for State.
All right, this is Rajya Sabha with business as usual, but remember there was a sense here that crucial bills that should be passed and should be adjourned today itself. Let's see if that happens in a few minutes or hours, in an hour from now. But let's get to the focus here. On ground is what we are continuing with as well. As we were saying, in the state of Maharashtra, in a complete lockdown, which is being followed specifically in the major cities here of Mumbai, Thane and Pune. This is going to be till the 31st of March, but to what extent this lockdown is being observed? Remember, essential services, shots of the Sabzi Mandi here, the vegetable market that we're playing out, that of course is part of an essential services and which is still open to people. We have with us our correspondent Disha getting us those details here on what she's observing on ground. Disha, this is of course with respect to availing basic essential services, but even in doing so, maintaining that thumb rule of social distancing, maintaining a meter distance between people, is that being followed here in this market where you are?
Well, Seher, here I am in Ghatkoppar's vegetable market, and as you can see, it seems to be pretty normal day for the people out here, and you can see the crowd, Seher. So clearly the social distancing aspect is not at all maintained by the people and also by the small vendors here in concern. You can see the entire street of only vegetables and fruits is flooded with people at this point in time, and you can see most of them are not even seen wearing masks. So these are certain basic precautions that the the government time and again have asked the people that whenever they step out to even buy essential commodities, they need to take precautions in advance. They need to really take those sort of advisories seriously. But here on the ground level, you are seeing that how people have come out in large numbers to buy essential supplies, which seems to be running out of stock here. In fact, vegetable vendors have told us that in the last 2-3 days, the supply has really hit hard. Almost 40 to 50% is what we understand, but the customer footfalls have not really been reduced here. You can see people are still not wearing masks at this point in time. There is no maintained distance as well between social vendors. You can see there are 2 vendors here, but there is no distance that has been maintained as well. And government time and again has said that this is something that has to be self-disciplined. Time and again, the government need not remind people how to be careful and how to take all the advisories very seriously. In fact, yesterday also, Seher, the government of Maharashtra had imposed 144 section across the state, which essentially means not more than 5 people can get together at one place. But here we are seeing completely different situation where not only 5 but more than 6 to 7 people are standing in groups. They have come together, they have get together to shop. So these are the kind of situations that we have seen since morning, from Dadar Sabzi Mandi now to Ghatkopar, which is one of the hub locations. Of course, Ghatkopar is a location which is situated in the central suburbs of Mumbai. So this is the kind of situation that we are looking, where all the orders by the government doesn't seem to be comply here.
That's right, Disha, and it has already been made clear that a strict action can be taken if these orders are not complied, and the centre has given an instruction to respective state governments as well, because the Epidemics Act, which has been invoked, are people aware of the kind of action that can be taken?
Well, Seher, we'll try and speak to a few people here in concern to know that whether they are really aware of certain advisories that have been put out. Sir, अगर हम आपसे बात करेंगे, सरकार बार-बार बता रहे हैं कि आप जो ज़्यादा crowded places है वहाँ पे आप मत निकलिए, अगर निकलते हैं तो ग्रुप्स में मत निकलिए. आप क्या कहना चाह रहे हैं? बिकॉज यहाँ पे हम देख रहे हैं बहुत सारे लोगों की भीड़ जमा है.
लेकिन मैडम ऐसे है कि 4 दिन से हम लोग घर से बाहर नहीं निकले थे. आज भाजी नहीं है, कुछ नहीं है, और हमेशा ऐसा दाल चावल खाने से भी तकलीफ हो रहा है. इसकी वजह से हम लोग भाजी लेने को आ रहे हैं.
आपने तो आंटी मास्क भी नहीं पहना है. अगर हम बताएं तो घाटकोपर में अभी तक जो ओवरऑल मुंबई की बात करें, घाटकोपर में 2 डेथ केसेस हुई है इसके वजह से, और आपने मास्क भी नहीं पहना है. प्रिकॉशन के बिना आप यहाँ पे सब्जी मंडी में क्राउड में आए.
मेरे को ऐसा सूट नहीं हो रहा है. मेरे को खुजली हो रही है अंदर से, और मेरा अभी ऑपरेशन हुआ है, तो मेरे को ज़्यादा वो प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है. सांस लेने मेरे को तकलीफ हो रही है मास्क की वजह से, इसलिए वजह से मैंने नहीं पहना है.
तो आप लोग कितने, आपने बताया जैसे 4 दिन में आप पहली बार ऐसे घर से, आप सब्जियां मिल रही है कि कम?
अभी जो मिल रहे हैं वो ले रहे हैं.
भाव भी ज़्यादा ले रहे हैं.
भाव
भी ज़्यादा ले रहे हैं आज.
और आज तो डिक्लेयर किया है कि आज 31 तारीख के बाद तक भाजी नहीं मिलने वाला है. इसके लिए आज हम लोग बाहर पड़े.
नहीं मिलेगा बोला है. 8 से 12 तक टाइम रहेगा मार्केट का. 8 बजे से 12 बजे तक का बोला है.
Seher, we are hearing from the citizens in concern. Few say that they were home for the last 4 days and that is why they stepped out to buy vegetables. We also saw one lady who was out without a mask, and let's not forget, Ghatkopar, where I am standing, is the area where 2 deaths have happened out of all the deaths, specifically here in the city of Mumbai. So definitely precautions here by the vendors, by the citizens seems to be very little.
All right, that's of course unfortunate to look at, because a lockdown that needs to be taken far more seriously in all the big cities, affected cities, whichever districts that have been announced to be under lockdown. Disha, thank you for getting us those voices, getting at that real picture on ground. Let's move on to the other state. This is in the other affected state of Karnataka, where there is a partial shutdown. Train and metro services that have been suspended though completely, but 50% of state-run buses are still operational. This is in Bengaluru. Section 144 is imposed there. This is going to be till Sunday midnight. So we're looking at a week's period there. only essential services to continue in the state. This shutdown is to continue across 19 districts of the affected states of Karnataka. We have with us our correspondent Neha Hebbale. They're getting us further ground inputs here with respect to, Neha, to what extent this partial shutdown is being observed. What are the self-precautionary measures here that people need to take that are being observed on ground?
Very disheartening today to see in Bengaluru, despite the partial lockdown, people are resuming life as normal. Yesterday, because of the Janta curfew, we saw how the city had completely come to a standstill. But today at the Shivaji Nagar bus stand that we are in the far distance, you can see how only 50% of the buses are plying, yes. But because of those 50% of the buses that are still plying, you would see a large number of people, gathering at this bus stop and boarding their buses to their respective locations. This also comes at a time when you have metro services that have been called off across the entire city, and only the services that would be available are the public transport, BMTC buses, the taxis and the autos. Now, when we're talking about private vehicles or autos, you can see how life is going on as usual. This is a very busy area on a normal day, but I'm not going to deny that, yes, to a certain extent, the activity has come down, but not to the extent that you would expect or that you would want. The government of Karnataka, the state government, will have to put in more stringent measures, keeping in mind the fact that the number of cases in Karnataka are only on the rise. Seher.
Yes, these are cases which are on the rise, and this is an observation that has been made across all the states which are under lockdown, and that is the biggest fear here. The effort of this lockdown, of course, Neha, as we all understand, is to flatten the curve. But where you are standing, it just still seems like frequent traffic.
Well, that's right, Sahar. It's not just on this side, but you're having buses, you're having people who are moving around, going on with their daily routines at the bus stand, at the shops surrounding the bus stand, despite strict government orders to only ensure essential services remain open. We're seeing non-essential services also up and running. The government of Karnataka clearly, of course, at this point, at least today, has failed to ensure that the non-essential services remain shut. And also, while we're looking at the autos functioning, it's imperative to understand that no precautions have been taken by any of these auto drivers, be it in terms of masks or ensuring that sanitizers are present in the autos. None of this has been done. The city is slowly coming back to normalcy. Now, we're not trying to create panic among the people, but there is a certain amount of awareness that has to be carried out, and people have to understand that for their better good, it is best that they stay home, that they refrain from coming out unless absolutely essential.
Yes, Neha, many thanks. Many thanks for getting us those inputs here. This is something that still needs to be taken far more seriously by the people. Let's get in a sense of how the markets have been reacting. It has continued to be a very difficult run in a free fall once again. Earlier today, trading, which was halted for a good 45 minutes, and this is because the Sensex crashed 10% and it hit the circuit limit. After reopening, Nifty and Sensex crashed over 10% once again. Let's get in further details. Our assistant editor Avni Raja are getting us those inputs here. Avni, this has been a very difficult day given the fact that we've had a 10% crash twice already.
Well, that's right. In fact, as we speak, the Sensex is down, the crash further deepening. It's down 12% now. So we're talking of a drop of more than 3,600 points on the Sensex at this point in time. And remember, this is already after trading was halted earlier today, around about 10 o'clock when the Sensex fell 10%. It triggered the lower circuit limit, and trading was halted for a period of 45 minutes. Now, once again, that has happened. So now at this point in time, if the market falls to 15%, by 15%, then trading will be stopped for the day. But we're almost at the end now, another hour to go before markets close. But essentially, this is happening because, of obviously the coronavirus pandemic and the fact that there is so much unknown at this point in time. The numbers only seem to be rising across the entire globe. India as well, we're seeing a steady uptick in numbers at this point in time. And the other part, of course, is the impact this is going to have on the entire economy. Nobody knows knows when the vaccine is going to come, when a cure is going to come, how much it's going to impact the economy. A lot of people and a lot of sectors are already getting impacted by this and are going to face a rough time going ahead.
right.
And there are going to be perhaps a lot of jobs that will be lost. So it's going to have huge ramifications for the economy, Seher.
Already there are sectors which are asking for a bailout package by the government. Of course, there's no announcement along those lines here. But if you could please explain here, Avni, on the circuit breaker limits in what we've seen today at the stock market.
Well, that's right. Let me just explain what that essentially means. So a circuit limit is essentially a mechanism that stops either a free fall or a huge surge in markets. So in either direction, if there is a sudden movement, it sort of puts the brakes on that. It essentially, this is for protecting investors from massive market movements, because if you see a continuous sudden fall with no brakes, then investors obviously will stand to lose a lot of money. It is triggered when the markets fall or rise 10%, 15% or 20%. So these are the three categories of the fall whereby the trading then is brought to a halt because the limit gets triggered in the stock market. So that's essentially the three buckets at this point in time. Now, when triggered, all trading comes to a halt, which is what we saw today, which is what we also saw on the 13th of March when exactly the same thing happened and trading came to a halt because the circuit limit was triggered at that point in time. Now, the duration of the halt depends on the time and extent of a fall. So depending on what time the circuit limit gets triggered and by how much, that determines how long the market will be closed or whether it will be closed for the entire day. So let's pull up the example here for you. If 10% limit is triggered before 1 p.m., trading halts for 45 minutes, which is what happened today. And after that, any time after that, if the markets then fall either by another 15%, then trading gets called off for the day. And then again, there's another bucket of 20%, like I was pointing out. And essentially, this is implemented since July 2nd, 2001, based on market regulator SEBI's guidelines. Seher.
Right. Avni, many thanks for getting us all those details. And staying with Maharashtra government here on having set up a coronavirus control room in Mumbai. So this is how it is going to benefit people. They can avail more information regarding anything, whatever queries they have pertaining to coronavirus, guidance on testing centers, where all it's available, or the law and order information. The control room here provides it all. Our deputy news editor, Mayuresh, getting us these details.
To tackle the COVID-19 pandemic, now Maharashtra government is all set to start a control room for entire state. Right now, I am on the 6th floor of Maharashtra government Mantralaya. You can see this is the COVID-19 control room which Maharashtra government is going to set up. This control room will get activated by today evening. Let's go inside and let's see that what kind of arrangements are there, because right now there is only there are few staff members are there, but we have been given to understand that staff from Revenue Department, staff from Home Department and Ministry of Health, staff from Ministry of Health will be also there. This will be the war room, or we can say the control room for COVID-19, where entire staff will sit. We'll go across to a few officials, will try to ask them, sir, ये कैसे काम करेगा कंट्रोल रूम महाराष्ट्र गवर्नमेंट का? अभी तो फिलहाल कोई दिख नहीं रहा है, लेकिन कब एक्टिवेट होगा और किस प्रकार से ये काम करेगा?
ये आज शाम तक एक्टिवेट हो जाएगा और यहाँ पे जनता में, लोगों में अगर कोई भी कोरोना वायरस के बारे में अगर कोई उनको डाउट्स है, कुछ फ़ोन करना है या लॉ एंड ऑर्डर के बारे में कुछ संबंध में उनको कोई प्रॉब्लम है, तो यहाँ फ़ोन करके यहाँ से उनके सब प्रॉब्लम्स को हैंडल किया जाएगा. हमारी जो टीम है ये लॉ एंड ऑर्डर से कंसर्न्ड है. वी आर फ्रॉम डीजीपी ऑफिस महाराष्ट्र. ओके. तो वी आर ऑल पुलिस पर्सनल्स. वी आर हियर फॉर एनी लॉ एंड ऑर्डर प्रॉब्लम इफ क्रिएटेड इन एनी डिस्ट्रिक्ट ऑफ महाराष्ट्र.
So when you say that if people can ask you a question about the law and order, how they are supposed to ask you? They are supposed to call you or send you an email, and after that you will reply to that email?
Now we have issued an email for law and order specially. They can type the mail and they can send it to us. और वो ईमेल आने के बाद वो ईमेल के ऊपर जो भी होगा फिर हम उसका आंसर करेंगे.
So that's what we heard from the officials. By today evening, this control room will get activated. In Maharashtra, the cases are rapidly increasing. Every day there is some kind of increase in the positive cases of Maharashtra. That's why Maharashtra government has decided to start a control room where people can call, people can email about the coronavirus issue. If they have any query regarding COVID-19, regarding the law and order situation, they can directly contact this control room and get their query solved. With camera person Rakesh Chawla, Mayuresh Ganpate for Mirror Now.
That's an important input here. There is various information that people need right now, and this is where all of it can be gotten in as far as the state of Maharashtra is concerned. Stay on with us. It's a wrap on the big story, but news and updates regarding coronavirus continue right here for you.